Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas everyone! Thanks for all your support this year and this holiday season. On Christmas Day I released a game that I quickly made before the Christmas period, and I wanted to make something Christmassy and something themed for the holiday season, so I made a basic platformer game with Santa Claus as our hero. This series is going to cover the creation of that and how you can create your own platformer game with Santa Claus. If you haven't played the game, you can click on the link down below and download the game and play it. And all the assets you require for this project are also in a link below in the description. So again, thank you for support this year, and let's get cracking. So I've started off by importing all my assets I've included. So here are all my animations and the model for my Santa Claus character. The Santa Claus character I found online just by searching for free low poly Santa Claus, and I found this guy. I don't have the modeler's name. I'll put it in the credits below. But thank you thank you for providing this model for us. Now I've gone and taken that model into Mixamo, rigged it, and output a ton of animations for us to use. So I've included all of those in here. So we've got, for example, a run, and we've got ourselves some carrying ones here, jumping, and we'll use all these animations to create our character in these first set of episodes. So let's get started. So to begin with, I need to start working on my animation blueprint for my character. So let's create that. So let's go right click here, animation, and animation blueprint. And I want to choose the skeleton that I want the animation blueprint to work with. And let's give it a name of Santa _ anim. And open it up. So in the anim graph, this is the basic graph here's output here. And for this to work, we're going to do a state machine. So I'm going to drag out from my result here and create a new state machine. Just do state machine. There you go. And we're going to name this one movement. So a state machine is simply something that controls what state the model is currently in based on some values we give it, and it kind of handles the flow between different animations. So double click on that and it'll take you inside that state machine. Now the entry point is where it starts, and it's like a flow chart. So we're going to come out of here and add a state, and this is going to be our idle / walk / run animation. So this guy is going to have a blend space between the different animations. So to do that, we need to actually create our own blend space. So I'm just going to close this for now. We'll return to that in a minute. So right click in the space here, animation, and blend space 1D, one directional. Choose your skeleton, and let's call this Santa run _ BS for blend space, and open it up. So blend space is a graph that we can set multiple animations on, and the value will interpolate between different animations. So I'm going to drag an idle to the far left here. I'm going to drag a walking to the middle, and drag a running to the far right. And if I click on the green pin here and move it between the values, you'll see how it blends between idle to walk to run. Okay. Now to set this up further, we need to change the range that this graph is going to go in. So on the left hand side, you'll see horizontal axis. If it's closed like this, just click on the little arrow to expand it open. We're going to name this horizontal horizontal axis speed. The minimum value is going to be 0, and the maximum is going to be 600. And there you have it. Okay. 600 is going to be the maximum speed our character is going to run in, so that's what we want. So when we're reaching maximum speed, he does the full run. So we're going to close that and go back to our animation graph. Inside your idle walk run state, you've got this output animation pose. So in here, I'm just going to drag my Santa run BS, my blend space, out and drop it in. Hook that up there, and for the speed, we need to create a variable for that speed. So on the left hand side, in the variables, create new variable, speed. And this will be a float. Didn't mean to tick that. And let's drag that in and into that slot. Compile that, and we're done. So that handled the idle, the walk, and the run all in one state. Now that speed currently has no value, so let's go and give that a value in the event graph tab up here. On the event graph, we've got event blueprint update animation and try get pawn owner. For this, we need to check if that is actually valid. So type in is valid, and you want the one with the question mark. With that now put in, we're going to drag out from the try get pawn owner again and type get movement component. And we're going to use this component to get hold of the velocity, i.e. the speed of the character. So from return value, get velocity. And it will return as a vector because a velocity is a direction and a speed represented in a vector format. So to get the speed part of it, we just need to get the vector length. Like so. And this float here is our speed. So we can drag our speed variable out and choose set and plug that into our return value, hooking up our set speed till it is valid. Click compile and we're done here. So let's just close that and let's start working on our Santa character. So right click new blueprint class and choose character, and we're going to call it Santa. And in here we need to set the mesh. So click on the mesh component and in the skeletal mesh details choose your Santa mesh. Now the default one is massive, so we need to scale this down and position it correctly. So I'm just going to scale him way down so he fits within inside our capital component. Like so. And you want his feet to be basically clipping with the bottom of the capsule. Okay. Next you want to rotate him around so he's facing in the X direction, like so. Above where you select the skeletal mesh, you'll see animation section. In there you'll see anim class, click on the drop down and choose your Santa anim. And it will immediately go into that idle pose. So we can close that and we can drag Santa into our world. I've made a little test level to test movement. So I recommend you do the same just by dragging some boxes in so you can test your actual movement. This is a useful thing to do until you go ahead and make your levels. So I've got Santa here. Obviously I can't control him yet. So that's what we're going to do in our next part. So join us in the next part where we start adding movement and we'll start adding a jump as well to our character. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to watch that next part right now, become a patron on www.patreon.com/RyanAiley, and a donation of simply just $1 will get you access to the next episode and all the rest of the episodes too. Thank you to all my patrons for their support, and Merry Christmas to you all. Bye.